Today, I'm excited to share the captivating journey of a character named Jim. He's known around town for his imaginative tales, yet against the odds, he lands his dream job at the local supermarket, making his aspirations a reality. Little does he know, his new workplace holds unexpected surprises. Get ready for an engaging cinematic experience. Our protagonist, Jim, discovers a series of nighttime store robberies through a newspaper article. Engaging in a quirky conversation with dogs, he boasts about his fictitious FBI background. Unfortunately, this whimsical moment leads to his dismissal from the veterinary clinic by the store owner. Jim, a master storyteller, weaves another fictional tale for children, showcasing his vivid imagination. Despite being 21 years old, he struggles to secure steady employment in the small town. Everyone is aware of his notorious work history, and even the gas station won't hire him. As Jim daydreams about a beautiful girl in a fancy car, his reverie is interrupted by his father scolding him for yet another job loss. The girl drives away, leaving Jim to face the consequences with his father. During a family dinner, Jim's sister discusses a girl named Josie who moved to New York. Surprisingly, Jim claims to have seen her that day. The dinner conversation shifts to Jim's numerous job firings, causing him to storm off in frustration. Jim's father insists that if Jim is living at home after school, he must contribute by paying rent. Faced with financial pressure, Jim applies for a job at the hypermarket using his father's concrete truck. The stakes are high. If he doesn't secure the position, he risks being kicked out of his home. In the director's office, Jim is warmly welcomed and offered the store manager position. Despite the attractive offer, Jim negotiates for a higher salary. The director agrees after a brief pause. However, a phone call reveals that the expected employee missed his flight. In a twist of fate, Jim is offered the role of night janitor with a reduced wage, and he accepts without hesitation. Meanwhile, across town, Roger discusses plans for a significant auto plant. Josie's father calls her to welcome guests, but a surprising kiss during the greeting shocks him. Later that night, he confronts Josie about the incident, expressing his disappointment. Simultaneously, unidentified bandits steal a car and speed away into the unknown night. On his inaugural workday, Jim opts for a limousine ride, deeming it more dignified than commuting with his father. During the journey, he regales the kids with tales of his coolness. Simultaneously, at the store, Josie peruses the merchandise, contemplating thievery. Jim arrives at his 21st job just as the store is closing. His coworker candidly and impolitely briefs him on the job details. It's only then that Jim realizes he'll be spending the entire night alone in the hypermarket, locked inside until 7 a.m. Jim, at 9 p.m., starts by cleaning the premises and illuminating the vast hypermarket. Initially struggling with his duties, Jim soon discovers his own unique approach, utilizing the store's products. After 17 minutes, Jim takes a break, indulging in snacks from the counters, addressing the entire store through the microphone, watching movies with mannequins, and even engaging in golf. Jim decides to call his parents, seeking to alleviate the nighttime hours. And then, he resumes his merriment. Bored, Jim dons a veiled t-shirt and skates around the store, spotting a girl among the racks. Distracted, he crashes into a stand. Simultaneously, the girl's father, along with the police, searches for her, while she remains in the store with Jim. In conversation, Josie questions Jim's antics, to which he responds with boredom as the driving force. Surprised, Jim learns that despite her wealthy father, Josie contemplated theft due to his despotic nature. As Josie admits her hunger, Jim improvises a dinner using hypermarket products, sharing details about his family and himself. The loquacious Jim enjoys conversing, admitting he dreamt of Josie, prompting her enigmatic response, "I only live them." As the conversation progresses, Josie labels Jim the town liar, a moniker embedded in town lore. Offended, Jim realizes they were in school together but never truly knew each other. Josie opens up about her school years, but Jim remains absorbed in his own narrative. Their differing perspectives lead to a lack of understanding. Josie cues up music, initiating a dance. Observing Jim's moves, she abruptly halts the music, and they exchange a prolonged gaze. Meanwhile, a car with bandits arrives. Jim resumes work, unaware that Josie, via loudspeaker, declares her disinterest in guys who live with their parents and lie. Josie can't fathom how easily Jim sacrifices his freedom and privacy. Eventually, Jim confesses to his penchant for lying, acknowledging that he's drowning in it. In response, Josie expresses admiration for Jim's freedom, a quality she longs for. Jim, on the other hand, is puzzled by Josie's reluctance to break free from her father's grasp. She confides that her fear of loneliness keeps her tethered. In a police car, an officer probes Josie's father about any issues with his daughter, but he swiftly shuts down the inquiry. Meanwhile, Josie proposes to Jim that they leave town together. Jim, desiring a clear plan, insists on finding his purpose first. Josie reveals her Los Angeles plan to prove her independence to her father. Jim, now understanding Josie better, decides to join her. Surprisingly, Josie has $50,000 in her purse, and the duo plans their escape for the morning. As they plot, a car with bandits arrives at the store. Jim counts the money, and Josie contemplates how to make amends for neglecting him in school. Jim, expressing a simple wish, confesses his dream of dancing with Josie. Their slow dance and kiss mark a new beginning for them. However, the police arrive at the hypermarket, prompting Jim to divert the officers' attention from Josie. Unbeknownst to them, thugs lurk nearby. Jim and Josie enjoy a carefree rollerblading session around the store until they encounter armed bandits. In a collision, all four tumble, but Jim and Josie manage to escape. In a daring move, they plunge the hypermarket into darkness and hide in a changing stall. A bandit approaches, and Josie shields Jim from discovery. Despite a close call, they evade capture as the bandit moves on to search elsewhere. The pair exits the dressing room, only to be confronted by a bandit brandishing a firearm. Our protagonists are forced to lie flat on the floor. Josie, in an attempt to deter the criminals, claims the entire town is searching for her. The bandits inquire about Jim's identity, prompting him to fabricate a tale about a significant drug deal involving formidable individuals arriving in 10 minutes. Adding to the ruse, Josie declares herself a hostage. Skeptical bandits consider harming Josie, but Jim nonchalantly suggests they go ahead since she's dispensable. When the guns are aimed at her, Jim seizes the moment, seizes a radio, and makes a run for it. Utilizing the store's loudspeaker, he announces the arrival of the supposed serious individuals and persuades the bandits not to shoot. Feeling surrounded, the bandits relinquish their firearms. However, Jim discovers the guns are unloaded. As the bandits rise, Jim returns the weapons, only to realize they deceived him. Jim suspects them of being the thieves responsible for injuring a bank employee in another town, a story he had read earlier. At gunpoint, the couple navigates the store with the bandits. Josie unveils her escape plan. She intends to persuade the bandits to take her with them, and then she'll flee. With the bandits possessing a car, Jim must play along. During a snack break, Josie strategically positions herself on a child's toy. Following the plan, she entices the bandits and proposes leaving together. While loading stolen goods into the car, Jim intervenes, urging Josie not to become an accomplice. Threatened by the bandits, he reluctantly agrees to stay silent. As the bandits load the car, Josie takes the wheel and speeds away. Abandoned and weaponless, the bandits shoot at the escaping car. Jim, fleeing on foot, manages to procure a shotgun. The bandits re-enter the store in search of Jim. He uses a microphone to communicate, leading the bandits to his location. Armed with a pump-action shotgun, Jim issues a warning. In a cafe, Josie and Jim's father sit together, visibly fatigued. Josie returns to retrieve Jim. A police car arrives at the hypermarket, and the sheriff, initially seeking Jim, discovers the restrained bandits. Josie and Jim depart for Los Angeles. Before leaving, Jim proudly introduces Josie to some children. Subsequently, they are seen relaxing by a pool together. On that note, movie ends. So friends, that's all in today's video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, peace out.